if I recall correctly, that letter said, A, I had disagreements with harm reduction as a model with which to address matters confronting youth involved with acts of prostitution or what was being attempted for identification as the sex trade. B, that I thought there needed to be some other kind of assistance, including involving men, that would provide a deterrent, or rather, some other manner in which young women, especially that were in crisis, could receive some kind of support or assistance in being extricated from the trafficking rackets that they were involved with so that they were not compelled to return. C, that the kind of leadership model that was being demonstrated by the organization was not one I could support. And also that because of financial situation that was at hand, as well as the fact that I had attempted to receive assistance and seek out assistance from other networks, that by the way, the people in the organization were introduced to and that were more concerned with reacquisition of alcohol that was used at the fundraiser than anything else about the relationship with that network. That I was concerned that my continued position at that time would create or expose the girls and the people who worked there to a kind of harm that we weren't prepared to deal with. And so I had to leave and I had to resign with an understanding that whatever was supposed to be the intention of me being there and being isolated from programming and being accepted because ostensibly there was something I needed to learn about harm reduction and the leadership of women, and the fact that I did not have what I needed in order to make sure that the organization was financially viable, as well as the fact that there was differences between me and the other adults in the organization regarding how to engage with law enforcement, I had to resign. And I did. That's what was said in the letter. I think the letter was like maybe 4 or 5 pages, handwritten. Where's that letter? Where's that letter? Because the truth of the matter is if you're trying to promote a leadership model regarding girls in the sex trade, and that includes potentially normalization of the sex trade and or even legalization of prostitution, and or also attendant with the harm reduction mentality is a normalization of recreational drug use and or eventual legalization of previously classified narcotics, then no, I didn't agree with that. And I was not allowed to participate in any efforts to try to educate or co-educate in order to find common ground. I was told, get the money, do the books, get us this, and this. And when I said I need receipts, and when I said I needed invoices in order to match it up, I was told, well, I mean, when they're out in the field or when things are happening, we can't always get receipts. If that's what you sued me for, then I mean, fine. But let me tell you what I'm going to sue you for. Quanta. Do you know what Quanta is, ladies and gentlemen? Chicago Foundation for Women. Quanta is a private security company from San Diego that runs the electronic transportation card system for the city of Chicago now. It got set up after my ass got booted to fucking California. But before, the Department of Justice sat on a report by nonprofits detailing how girls were being lured into the sex trade at even younger ages to be pimped by boys at even younger ages. And that often a primary modality around which this occurred was low-cost hotels, and that it transcended racial and demographic perspectives and communities. It wasn't something that was the black community. It wasn't something that was this Latino street gang. That there was somewhere an effort or an orchestrated intent to diversify the asset base and to make sure youth were empowered. I'm sorry. See, that's where I had problems with being in that role because my job would have been to talk about diversification of the asset base and youth empowerment. And I consider them crimes. You deserve to get fucking busted. If you thought you were gonna put it on to me so I would take the hit and you could cover your ass, apparently there was a fucking timeline you had to fucking make in order to get away with that. You didn't get away with that. And you're not going to get away with that. You hear the phone? It's ringing for you this time.